So the masses remain complacent, short-sighted, bigoted, primitive, delusional.
Manageable. No conspiracy required. Viable systems regulate themselves.
Viable. You see how this is sustainable.
No conspiracy required. Viable systems regulate themselves.
We just picked up the signal.
Now there's one thing you missed in your monologue there. Aside from primal provocation, keeping people half-conscious, trapped in lower brain fight-or-flight mode. Aside from the cultural hegemony where people's values and envies mirror those of wealth and power, reinforcing the social order. And aside from the climate of opinion, fostered by the acclaimed intelligentsia, deciding the limits by which truth must conform. The most critical mechanism here is that of social inclusion. Nature wired us with a strong tendency to override rational thought in favor of group acceptance, part of our evolutionary fitness. And when people violate consensus, the nervous system seeks to correct the behavior with pain and fear, as there's little more psychologically damaging than social exclusion. To be ostracized, ridicule, stigma, loss of reputation, which could also mean loss of employment, income, loss of survival.
Yet there's a long history of people who have moved against that tendency.
A long history of very few people who inevitably turn into mere righteous symbols put on t-shirts rather than forces of revolution.
So this Orion problem of yours isn't indicative of anything?
Orion appears to be a fringe group of extremists with no public support. This is about normative culture. And my point, John, is that given our social nature, the stronger force here is not on the side of reason, it's on the side of inclusion and conformity. And that, my friend, is the greatest form of social control, and why the masses will never break out of its self-perpetuated oppression.
with me, my dear. It's time we re-examine this reality. So I understand there's been a fail and you're back for sale. To no avail since we're bound, locked, overstocked. An endless scheme, the industrial machine, the unemployed, destroyed, and forever void. This earthly sphere that we commandeer now only is causing the machine of fear.
Witness the human abyss of aimless wants and vain appeals.
So we'll start with a consumer monstrosity, this indifferent acquisition for a status position. The wall-to-wall mall, now we see, built to fortify our culture of insecurity.
Such enemies for which commercial extremes explore social nature for material needs to sad fees.
A neurotic appeal, social exclusion, confusion, fueled by an elitist sense of Machiavellian delusion, Darwinistic plight, an endless fight to oppress the poor and reward those with more class war. Now that's what's in store. So take a pew and bow to the altar of the money god, the success facade. But rest assured, if you grant an employment stay, in time it'll be automated anyway. You ready?
Welcome to the freak show, baby. This is what it is. You aren't more than property here, dear. Caught in the machine of fear. Welcome to the freak show, honey. Industry is king. This world's really
built for the insincere to profiteer off humanity's most primal fear. So you see, 23, the world that we inhabit's an atrocity, a global condition of submission, attrition, ammunition to destroy by whatever ploy. This democracy, a plutocracy, will not be stopped by the public's idiocracy. So pick a complacent face and submit yourself as an inferior race, kicking it up to the higher class that has amassed wealth beyond the brutally vast as a debt with total amounts for all to see. The slow motion genocide known as inequality. So welcome to the freak show, honey. The society beset by the capitalist threat, and the cast is currently stocked. But we'll let you know if we need another floor to be mopped.